Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Exodus, Part 5. For all you audiocast listeners out there, today is July 8th, 2019, and you are loved. And that doesn't go out to just you audiocast listeners, but otherwise you probably saw this upload date and can put together context clues as to when we go live, which is every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because that way I have more time to play with my friends. But speaking of friends that we can play with this week, our dear Eladrin Paladin Danae is out of town for both tonight's game as well as tomorrow's Curse of Strahd game, but our dear friend Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern is putting together a Knights Over Waterdeep game, where we are going to be a tad bit evil tomorrow night. So, if you're interested on still getting your HBO-style Tuesday games, we got you covered. Other than that, an additional reminder that on July 27th, later this month, we are going to be having a 12-hour charity stream where you can win all sorts of awesome prizes for just showing up and donating if you possibly can. Otherwise, I'm still doing the rules that we had at Extra Life, where if you follow the channel, because you don't have the means yourself to be able to donate, I will then match those follows to actual donations that will go to help the charity of your choice. And if you don't speak up, then I will decide to donate for you. We have some wicked awesome prizes, such as the Elderwood Academy Tiny Hex Chest, which this one looks like a dragon. Doesn't show up as easily as the darker wood, but it comes with a nice little set of purple dice, which are super cute. And this is the size comparison for the regular dice. I'm happy that all of these are in here, because this was the first one that I tried to open and all of the dice shot everywhere, and I thought that I had lost the D6 for a hot minute. So, it's all together. Don't worry, I checked it myself. Other things to keep in mind. Did you know we got merch? If you go to bit.ly/adventure merch, you can pick yourself up a tiny mug, a slightly larger mug, a t-shirt with Arjan scars, maybe a gym logo for the Stompfoot Goreblast Gymnasium, maybe just your standard Indoor Adventures logo tee, or you want... It doesn't really show up on this camera, but a large poster of Olivia and Cori. There's another poster for Arjan and Tarlean that Cyber has in the back. I am currently trying to figure out with Danae what shape to best put that in, so we can actually put that image on t-shirts as well. So if you are excited to wear such a fated meeting on your personage, well... Simply wait a bit, and I hope that we get it up in time for everybody. But with that, guys, who are we playing tonight?
Tonight we're playing ourselves. Hi, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian.
And I'm Cyber, and I play Arjan, the Dragonborn Bloodhunter, and Cleric now.
Yes. And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and I shall be your Dungeon Master for this evening. So, last we left off, you guys came face to face with a group of Ettercaps, Redcaps, Displacer Beasts, all of which tried their best to cut short your travels to the Hollowlock ruins, but to no avail, as you all and your companion, your temporary traveling partner, Damien, made your way deeper into the woods. You were then approached by a Dullahan by the name of Talon, who, through use of ancient Fey magics, was able to actually teleport you and your group over to the Hollowlock ruins. There was a verbal discourse between Talon and Damien as they explained the situation with the Fey, in that currently, the Fae of Autumn have been escaping the Autumn Isle, trying to flee the powers of the winter primordial archfey called Vinru, that had taken over Coriander's friend Cypress and is currently wreaking havoc. So, Talon took initiative, and in the Autumn Caelan's disappearance, decided to lead these Fae onto the material plane. Damien insisted that this was a unlawful exodus away from the Feywild, and after being left to investigate the town on your own time and actually get to learn of the Fey creatures that now call the Hollow Locks their homes, Damien decided to take matters into his own hand. He had a mission to complete. And while Arjan and Gwen were asleep, Caelum, you and Cori saw Damien approaching a Waystone, a large stone structure that you know correspond with ley lines throughout the material plane. And as you, Caelum, watched, you saw as Cori face-stepped over to Damien at the exact moment where he touched a wrought iron key onto the Waystone, and the stone itself broke apart, turning into a gate that took Cori and Damien through it, and then seemed to fall onto the ground inert. And that is where we will pick up. Is Caelum, you are at the base of the waterfalls, and Old Bess is very close to you, as she had been abandoned by Cori, who had used her to quicken her pace to catch up to Damien.
He runs up the switchbacks to the Waystone.
Okay.
And surveys the surroundings.
Okay, as you are getting there, you see that on this top layer of the locks, there are more homes that were kind of built out, rather than looking more like farm quarters like they were down below. And you actually see now that there are small groups of Fey creatures that are actually poking their heads out of these, what you would assume, abandoned buildings to kind of take stock of what actually occurred, as their connection to the Autumn Isle is currently severed. And as you go and investigate the stones, you can make a Arcana check if you would like.
It's 23.
Okay, so with a 23... these stones they feel almost magically hot to the touch. As you kind of, you manage to wrap one quickly with a piece of cloth, pick it up and investigate it. And you see that on these waystones, there had been very intricate carvings that had circled around the stone itself. And you've seen this on several of the stones that you've passed before. But it looks like there is still faint outlines of magic that are running through these small carvings within the stone itself. But as you look at it, it looks very erratic. This doesn't look stable necessarily. Like, you're watching as the magic sort of flickers between a nice autumny red to a vibrant green to a almost icy white color. And it seems like the actual colors themselves, whatever it was that this Waystone was keyed in on, has been disrupted.
Ha 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 ha. He gingerly puts down the piece of the Waystone in the cloth.
And you hear, coming behind you, very heavy metal footprints. Or metal footfalls, just... What is the meaning of this? And you see the Dullahan figure, the neck just completely billowing this deep greenish blue fire. What
Alan,
have you done?
I didn't do anything. It was... I don't know what happened. My friend and the other guy were here at one point, and then there was this explosion of light, and now she's gone, and he's gone, and I don't know what happened.
And he looks at you, and you see his body kind of swivel to the other Fey creatures that are all poking their heads out from their door.
Can anyone corroborate his story?
And you see that there are a few creatures kind of holding up their hands, and all seem to be actually vouching for you in this situation. And he says,
So it was your friend and your other friend, then, that were responsible for this?
I have no idea. They were here 1 minute, next minute they were gone, and the Waystone was destroyed. That's all I got.
and then you think you hear him swearing, just kind of condemning the judges under his breath. He doesn't seem to want to admit it publicly. And then he turns and says, addressing the rest of the Fey creatures,
Who here saw what happened? In its entirety.
And at that, you see some of the hands fall down. And more of a taller, almost elf-sized figure who looks like they just have a cowl over their head. It's kind of brought up in front of their face. It looks like they're actually showing very little skin. And they just keep their hand raised. And Talon says,
I'll be talking with you soon. Now you.
and he points back over to you, Caelum.
I know these woods. You've seen how quickly I can travel through them. Don't go anywhere outside of this village. Do I make myself clear?
Transparently, I gotta go tell him, and Caelum's like slowly shuffling towards the edge of the waterfall.
Go.
He jumps.
Okay. And at that, Talon just turns on his heel and begins walking away. So you're falling down this waterfall. Are you casting a feather fall on yourself?
Yes.
Thank God! So yeah, you feather fall and just naturally float down to the ground. And this looks like it is about a 140-foot fall.
Yeah, he'd probably do it like halfway through.
Okay. So yeah, you are now, you have now spoken with Talon. You are making your way back to your companions.
I'll check on Nan first. She okay?
Bess. Yes, your horse is fine.
Oh, Bess.
Yep, she seems to just be eating on some grass. Does not really seem fazed by any of this.
Just tug her along quickly.
Okay.
Make my way back to camp. And Gwen said not to disturb her. So Kim, like, sidles up next to Arjan, and you just hear a... Arjan! Arjan!
What?
Cori vanished again!
What?
So, Cori and Damien were on top of the waterfall by the Waystone, and Damien did something, and there was a big flash of light, and now they're both gone, and the Waystone's destroyed. And Talon said not to leave the forest.
Arjan's run up to the Waystone.
Okay.
Caelum's following Arjan.
And Gwen is thankfully asleep because she didn't want to have to deal with this bullshit. So, yeah, you guys make your way back to the wreckage of the Waystone. And at this point, you see that the majority of the Fey creatures that had been poking out, kind of seeing what was up, have all reseated back into their homes. And it looks like Talon is also finished talking with this other figure, and they are no longer there by the time that you guys make your way up. But Arjan, what you see in front of you is a strip of land leading out to where you had seen this Waystone. This massive 15-foot tall stone monolith that just seemed to extend outwards from the ground. Earlier that day, just billowing with this almost primal fey energy, seeming to release its spirit of autumn across across this otherwise kind of burnt forest. But now, looking at it, you see that it lies in wreckage in front of you. And it's kind of spaced out more in a line, but not in a way where it would have fallen over and tipped over. It looks like it had almost been broken up, jumbled, stripped out, and then laid down.
Right. Okay. He is like he's not okay. He's gonna like start like picking up pieces, everything. Does he know if this is salvageable?
Make a Arcana check.
Blood Hunter bullshit?
I'll say no, because this doesn't technically fall under the standard Blood Hunter umbrella.
Cool. Arcana?
Yeah.
8.
Okay. You feel like, I mean, you've seen a lot of other weirder shit happen than putting this Waystone back together. It seems plausible. It could work.
He's just silent. Like moving pieces.
Caelum will try to help figuring out what's going on.
Okay. And as the two of you make an investigation check.
14.
17.
Okay, so you actually do find pieces where the carvings line up and you're able to kind of mash them back together. But as you are putting them back, these pieces that had the magical grooves in them, Caelum, that you had seen earlier, the magic is just sputtering and no longer visible in these. The bright colors that were there to symbolize the magic actually working seems to have died off, and right now you're just kind of putting stones back together.
The stones are losing whatever power they had. We could fix the structure, but whatever power is in them isn't there anymore.
Arshan's using mending. I'm not sure if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, so after about a minute, two of the rock pieces that you had eventually fuse back together.
Caelum also has mending.
Okay. Is that what the boys are up to tonight?
We're just sticking some Elmer's glue on this. Everything will be fine.
Fine. Mom won't notice. Probably like an hour or two in, Caelum will turn to Arjan. Arjan, you should get some rest. I can keep working through the night.
He just shakes his head.
Whatever happened to Cori, we need you at 100% tomorrow.
What's the plan?
Well, since we can't leave, we can ask around, try and figure out where this went, if anything. And then once Talon releases us from our, I don't want to say house arrest, but I don't know, maybe Gwen's tribe knows something?
My order might know something as well.
We can take a stop there.
Be back in the direction we came. It would be back in the direction we came, right?
Yeah.
That'd be, is it?
It would be to the south a little bit, more along the coastline of the lake.
Anything happens, let me know.
Oh, you'll hear me screaming. Sorry.
He just doesn't react to it at all. And he'll like defeatedly drop one of the shards and just like start slinking down the switchback.
Okay. And then, Caelum, you said that you were going to be continuing at it for the remainder of the evening.
Yeah. Putting stones together, casting mending, trying to fit it all back together.
Okay. Yeah, and Arjan, you make it back to your camp, no issue. Gwen and Cybra have not moved from their current sleepy position. They just seem to have stayed resting through the evening. And judging by the positioning of the moon that you know of anyways, it's maybe been 45 minutes since you tried to lay down last. So you shouldn't be too far behind waking up with Gwen tomorrow.
At some point during the night, partway through, Caelum's gonna like touch that area where he felt the growth earlier.
Okay.
Is it good or?
The area looks like there is a mild, like a dermatological irritation. Like you can feel like there is just like this patch of drier skin that has these bumps kind of where your pores are. And as you touch them, they definitely feel like your pores clogged.
I don't like that at all. Goes back to fixing the stones.
Roll a d20 for me.
Oh, why would you do this to me? 18?
Okay. Sounds good.
You motherfucker.
You're fine. So yeah, as you progress through the night, you know that you probably have a good 7 hours of doing this before your friends are going to wake up.
I've read books for longer.
Okay. So make another d20 roll.
3.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. As the night progresses onwards, Caelum, as you are putting these stones back together, the figure that had vouched for you earlier ends up actually coming out and just kind of leans over.
What are you doing over there?
Just kind of leans his head over a little bit, and you can see that he just has these that his eyes, the pupils that he has, are very wide, much like how a cat can see at night to become more reflective.
Caelum shuffles over slightly. Just trying to fix the Waystone.
Why?
I don't know.
You're one of them, right?
And the figure kind of like stoops down a little bit and comes closer to you.
One of who?
One of the Sunwalkers. Why would you want to help us?
Well, okay, one, I have a question about that, but also, two, I don't know, it seems like the right thing to do. You guys are in trouble, right?
Could be. Depends on what's out there. It was trouble back where we came from, but it was a different kind of trouble.
And you can see that this figure, as he's gotten closer to you, that his face, what you can see from behind the kind of tied scarf that's higher up and the cowl, is what looks to be a very old face. There are definitely some deep-seated wrinkles that you can see kind of around the cheeks, and the eyebrows themselves just kind of have more of like that old human droop to them.
What do you mean by sunwalkers?
Well, I suppose that means that I can ask you something, now doesn't it?
Sure.
Say there was something beautiful. Say that there was something so beautiful you felt like you had to see it, would you? What would you risk to see beauty?
Never really quite thought of that.
I thought about it plenty. Back in the old days, we used to be similar. Then the Queen of Raven's magic screwed everything up, but we still made peace. The reason I call you Sunwalker is because I can never go back out.
And he kind of pulls his hood back, and you can see he has elven ears, and he has more of a elvish face to him, but his nose is slightly larger. His teeth seem a little bit more pointed. And kind of looking at him as he squats down, you realize that he has almost cloven-style feet, where it sort of bends back almost like a dog's does at the bottom.
I think it's Digitrigade.
Yes. I don't know how to pronounce that word. But that is what he has.
They call us the Darklings. Cursed by the sun, cursed by beauty. Now this...
And he points to his face.
This is what happens when we go out into the sun. But that sunrise, worth it. Absolutely beautiful, but almost as beautiful, if not more so than, D&D Beyond. Because with D&D Beyond, it's never been easier. RJ is away from the mic right now, so this is the ad that you are getting. Did you know that if you purchase the Legendary Bundle, that it is 20% off everything in store? I don't know. They didn't give... Is it 20?
15.
15% off the entire store. Now that is better than Trading Post prices, good sir. You're looking at better than MSRP. Now,
But Indoor, what if I'm having trouble finding things on D&D Beyond?
that's why they have a little magnifying glass so you can search for it real easy like.
Wow.
Are we spieling? We're spieling.
We were. We were, yes.
Yes.
But-
Sorry, that was work. Haha.
That's all right. Now, the reason I look like this, there was a sunset I had to see. That's all. But I asked myself each and every day, would it be worth it? I think it was. So I answered your question, Daywalker. Now you answer mine. Why are you putting the stone back?
To get a friend back. Hopefully.
How do you know they wasn't working with the Judges 3 this whole time?
She was sort of cursed by them. I don't think that kind of works hand in hand.
What do you mean cursed? She came in here yelling about lower Caelum this, lower Caelum that.
I don't know the specifics. I just know she said something about a curse. Oh, what was it? No, it was a hag. There we go. That makes more sense.
Oh. Damn it. Hags do deal in curses,
Yeah.
but
She was all for letting you guys stay here. I don't think she's a very honest person. I don't think she'd ever lie to us.
I'll have to take your word for it. But I saw she did try and stop him. That's what I told Talon. So you think doing this will get your friend back?
Statistically speaking, chances are low, but
You can't feel it, can you? You're not attuned to the land like we are.
can't say that I am.
You familiar with ley line energy, boy?
I've read a book or two about them, but
Ley lines allow us to travel from point A to point B much quicker. But that's if the ley line works. Whatever it is those judges did, magic doesn't flow through here anymore. This is just a monument.
I was afraid you were going to say that. So, if Caelum starts thinking, if the ley lines help you travel from point A to point B, are they like hubs where, I don't know, we wouldn't know what a network is? I was about to make that analogy.
Like spiders or bees? Bees got lots of networks.
Well, like, if it's a point on this entire scale, would we be able to access the same point if we just moved in another direction, even if it was a little bit farther or a little bit closer?
Imagine it's like tunnels. The tunnels run deep. You gotta find a point where you can go into that tunnel. Can't just go boring a new hole, because then all that magic's just gonna start coming right back out. And then we get into the same situation we found ourselves in quite a long time ago.
Do you mean with
Caca.
winter or... Ah, okay, cool. Same page, same page. I need some time to think.
Well, if you ever finding yourself needing a drink, there are a few places of business that we have opened up here. You can find me at Ravenblight's Revelries. My name's Crad.
Our Eldrin friend said never to give our names to Faye, so...
It's not my name, son. It's just what people call me.
Cool. I guess you can call me C.
All right, see. Like I said, if you find yourself needing a drink, always more than welcome. Fey deals are one thing, but a deal with coin, entirely something else.
And he just pats you on the back a little bit, stands up, and begins walking away.
And how do you spell that?
Crad?
Oh. Krea.
Krad. Crad.
Cradical.
Oh my
Hey.
God, you've discovered his true name.
Listen, Cyber, that ley land joke, though, excuse you.
It's a good joke.
It was a good joke.
So, Caelum, what are you doing now? That you have wished Crad away and also kind of come to a stopping point with the Waystone. And at this point, you've gotten maybe about a 1.5 feet, 2 feet of it done.
How many feet is this thing?
15.
Fuck that. He pushes whatever loose rock closer to the Waystone and then makes his way down the switchback.
Okay.
Thinking what he's gonna tell Arjan. It's not good.
Okay. Yeah, so you get back to the group, and you know that you still have maybe about 3 hours left until the party ends up waking up. Make another d20 roll for me.
2.
Okay. Sounds good.
Great.
So yeah, you still have 3 more hours. What would you like to do?
He's gonna sit down, open up his book, and start writing.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Gwen, you are going to be the first one to awake. Make a charisma save for me.
A charisma save?
Yes.
Oh, jeez Louise. Is this something that I need to... A charisma save is not something that I get advantage on. I don't roll these very much. That's a 12.
Okay, so you wake up and go to stretch, and you find yourself still in your disfigured form.
No! Fuck! Okay. Just gonna reach over to Cybra, give her some pets. LB forgot about that. She'll kind of like look around. Are we still like hanging out outside?
You are indeed. Currently, Damien and Cori are both absent, and Caelum has just been writing in his book.
She'll go stoke the fire, get it ready for breakfast.
Good morning, Gwen.
Morning, duder.
So, funny story. Promise me you won't. Well, you're gonna freak out anyway. So,
Look,
last-
if you gotta do something, you know, I know we didn't really get a chance to talk about the whole hands-on God thing. I don't care.
last night Cori disappeared.
What?
So she chased Damien up to the Waystone, and he did something, and there was a flash of light, and they both disappeared, and the Waystone's destroyed. So, jazz hands, ta-da!
Wait, what's a Waystone?
The big thing over there that was letting the Fae in.
Yeah, Gwen, you look over at the top of the waterfall, and that large 15-foot tall stone that you've seen many a time traveling across the plains is no longer there. There's a little stubby one, about 2 feet tall, but nowhere near as tall as it was before.
When did this happen?
About 45 minutes after you guys went to sleep. You told me not to wake you up.
Yeah, okay. You're a sweet kid, Caelum. And I appreciate that you let me sleep. But this is not the fucking time! Arjan kicks him!
I woke him up.
What?
You told me not to wake you up.
Ow.
Alright. This means we're going to the Feywild, right?
Once we figure out a way to get there.
Well, we got a bunch of Fey right here. Can't they take us?
They went through the Waystone.
Yeah, but they got magic shit, right? Did
So,
Cori have a way back?
No. Cori hasn't had a way back this entire time. That's why she was sending her horse through. And you're familiar.
yeah. Also, so from what I can deduce from the conversations, there are travel permits. that we might need to fill, or else we get into a lot of trouble with a lot of people that are...
Like the lower Caelum would get in trouble with the lower Caelum?
Maybe like the higher Caelum or whatever they're called. Or
Apparently the higher Caelum is in action.
Right.
There's like two
So
more.
Cori is... I feel like that's a problem for later us. I feel like step one, we need to get the fuck to the Feywild to save Cori, right? Like, this is not a question.
Right.
No. It's not a question.
Right, okay. Okay, so, where's that fucking giant dude whose name was, like, Thorn or something?
Talon?
Yeah.
Might be off patrolling the woods. He told us not to leave.
But where are we gonna go?
Away from the woods. Well, so Arjun and I talked a little bit, and we could probably visit his hunter order, or maybe go over to your clan to see if they know anything about Waystones and stuff.
Is that the only way that someone could get to the Feywild? I feel like there are a lot of creatures here from the Feywild.
That came through a Waystone.
So how many of these things are there?
I've seen about 12.
Well,
But-
then just take us to another one.
I don't think it's that easy. For one, we have no destination in the Feywild. It might dump us off on the Isle of Winter for all we know, and then we be fucked.
Well, why don't we just go to Cori's parents' house?
Because we don't know where that is.
Your familiar does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, either way, we still need to figure out how to actually use the Waystones to get there.
Well, we have a bunch of fucking fey creatures around us that have used them, so let's go talk to them.
My thoughts exactly.
Do you guys want a drink?
No, we have work to do.
No, there's a person that spoke with me last night, and he has a bar, so we can probably talk with him and get a drink.
All right, lead the way, duder.
God, this is like the cardio episode. Back up those switchbacks we go.
Oh yeah, no, this episode is why you don't miss leg day. So yeah, you guys make your way up the switchback, and you can see that more of these fey creatures are actually kind of milling about, doing their own thing. And as you guys are passing by the fields in the lower section of the city, Gwen, for a brief moment, you think you actually see Goliaths. But the kind of interesting part about them is that where Goliaths usually are clean shaven, there's like not a single bit of hair on them. These Goliaths look softer. They have kind of larger reddish noses. They have more pointed ears than the Goliath rounded ones. A lot more facial hair on them, as well as more matted head hair. And they actually seem to be doing some kind of druidic magics on the fields to begin sprouting small trees and other trestles of foliage, even though it is winter here.
Oh, cool. Gwen is gonna, like, see him and kind of, like, pull back. Are they far away from me?
They're maybe about 150 feet away from where you are. And as you walk by, they all just sort of, like, wave, hello.
1 second, duders. And she's gonna, like, jog over there. And in Giant, she's gonna say, "What's up, bitches?"
I'm not bitches. My name's Peach. It's nice to meet you.
Is he speaking in...
He's speaking
Giant?
he's speaking in common.
Okay. Peach? Your name is Peach.
I'm Peach, that's Melon, and that one's Goober over there. He's a real funny one.
Is he a goofy goober?
Yeah.
Are you guys, like... Are you Goliaths? What are you?
What's a Goliath? Like I said, I'm Peach.
Well, I know. What race are you?
Oh. I've heard others call us Furbolg.
A furbolg?
Furbolg. It's a fun name to say, so we like it.
Right. Hey, do you know how to get back to the Feywild?
Is the stone broken?
Yeah, but there's more of those stones.
You don't want to go back there.
My friend's
It's getting
there.
cold. We got friends there, too. You should say hi if you see them. There's Dumble, and then there's Brother Tree if you see him. Always say hi. There's lots of us, really. Have you seen Plum?
You are the first one of your kind that I have seen.
Well, if you see Plum, let him know we said hi.
All right,
We
cool.
miss him
So
badly.
when you came through the stone the first time,
Oh, yeah?
yeah. What did you do? How did you do it?
Well, I walked through it. That Talon guy, he was being real loud and told us that winter was off the shore. That didn't sound good. So we looked at it. It was coming. It wasn't good. So we decided to go with Talon and then followed him, and now we're here. He opened a tree up and we stepped through it. And now we're here. It's pretty nice. Weather's, it's a bit chilly for my taste, but that's okay. Let's
Right.
put on
So
a little
Talon,
bit.
Talon opened up the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something he can just do, or like, do you know?
I've seen him do it plenty of times.
Solid. Was there an item involved, or just his physical being?
He raised his sword up and looked real scary when he did it. Could have been that.
Solid. Have you seen him?
Oh yeah, I've seen him plenty of times. He actually kind of lives around here.
Have you seen him this morning?
He's up there if you want to talk to him. And he points up the switchbacks.
Thank you. Plum.
No, I'm Peach. We haven't
Peach?
seen Plum, but if you see him, tell him hi.
Right. Sorry, there was a lot of fruits and I got confused. Nice to meet you, Peach. Am I allowed to tell you my name? I was told that I wasn't supposed to tell fake creatures my name.
Oh, we call each other what others call us. So what do people call you?
Gwen.
All right.
Solid. All right.
Thanks,
Peach.
Gwen. You don't look like a Gwen, but I'm sure
What?
you act like it.
Okie dokie. Lovely to meet you.
It was nice meeting you. Guys, she was really nice. And Peach just kind of turns around and begins walking over to the others, who all just, whoa.
Oh, jeez. Gwen walks back to the group. All right, so it looks like this Talon guy is the one who opened the portal,
Right.
Cool.
and he's up there.
Great.
Great.
They're Furbolg.
Don't know about Fearbolt?
No.
You can make a blood huntery check if you would like.
I've heard of small creatures that are constructs called Furbies.
Those are conduits for demonic energy, and we will not speak of them again.
Okay. I'm sorry.
They're Arcana?
Yeah.
13.
Okay. Yeah, you would have heard of Furbolgs. Basically, they are the descendants of Giantkin that just existed in the Feywild. They seem to just be much in the same way that Goliaths are a product of the material plane. Furbolgs are that, but in the Feywild. Usually friendly.
Oh, neat. That's cool. That's some of the more friendly Fae.
Yeah, they seemed pretty sweet.
Okay.
So let's go talk to Talon.
Yep, we're walking and talking.
Okay. as you guys reach the top of the switchbacks and begin looking around, you can see that on the side of the river that you are currently on the left side, that there are several larger houses that seem like they may have been more of like an important, well-to-do family's home, but you see them kind of just spaced intermittently, and then across the river, that is where you see much smaller shops. And there is a land bridge that connects both of the sides that was near where the Waystone was, as well as a bridge that is actually built or the remnants of a bridge, I should say, that was farther up the river. But as you guys are standing there, Talon is actually getting done talking with some very small, oily-looking creatures. They look like they are just a head that have two legs coming out and arms sticking out from the side. These big yellow eyes, kind of doofy-looking smiles on their faces. And you hear Talon just kind of communicating with them, points over on the other side of the river, and they all nod in agreement, and you see them actually all rush towards the shadowed part of a tree, where a tree had been burnt and got caught up in the branches up above and is just creating a shadow. They actually dive into the shadow and seem to just disappear almost entirely. And at that, you see Talon right himself up a little bit, and his body swivels over towards the lot of you. Says,
Well, I've spoken with Crad. It would seem. It says that my mic is echoing, which is weird.
there. It shouldn't anymore. I've
spoken with Crad. It would seem that you are telling the truth, that you had nothing to do with this stone's destruction.
All right, good.
Very good indeed. But the problem therein lies, I don't know your friend. And I don't know your... well, it would appear your traveling companion.
That's still a stronger word than I... Yeah, sure.
Hey, what if we brought you to a different Waystone?
It might... for what reason?
Well, don't you need more people to come through?
There are those that are going to be staying behind, yes.
Yeah, so, like, you don't want to leave people behind, right? Like, you gotta go save more people.
As much as I would like to, I am unsure as to how we would relocate them here.
I mean, traveling. The closest Waystone is, like... She motions to, Arjan.
How close is it?
The closest Waystone that you would know of is actually in Silt Creek.
Oof.
And that is at least 8 days of travel away.
I know one that's about 8 days away, but I know people who might know closer ones.
Do you know how they work? Are
We
you
know that you do.
familiar?
No. I don't. They do. Please explain to
Are
me.
you familiar with the Queen of Ravens' tale?
The Queen of Ravens?
Yes.
You mean like the God of Ravens?
Yes.
The Raven Queen?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Same
yes,
page, small one.
Yeah. Got it. Yes, I know her. I know what she does.
Or he's more mentioning of what she did.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
When the tears struck the land, portals were open to different realms, different areas, and when her spell ended, the Waystones were left in their place. Each one is connected to not the same place. If you did take me to a Waystone and I opened it, it would go somewhere completely different.
Like in the Feywild or like
In general.
Oh.
Yes.
There's not like a key.
There was a key. But that key was used by your friend, companion. My apologies. It is meant for closing, not for opening them.
Oh, so he was being a dickbag. Got it.
So, for all we know, he might have just closed the only portal. Or Waystone Inn.
At least to our part of the Feywild. There were others, but they weren't near here. One far off in the ocean. One across the sea. Far to the south. But this was the most perfect one. This is the one that would cause the least amount of collateral damage.
So is there like a way to fix it?
Would it be just that the stone was destroyed? Maybe. What they did, what the judges did, what Damien did. They flooded the Waystone with energy. Different planes all converging from all of the different intersectors right here.
Like water into a hole. Got it. And it collapsed onto itself, right? Did I get it?
Similar, yes.
Ballin'.
You
Alright,
seem
cool.
like the fighty type.
Oh, for sure.
When you get a wound, and the wound seals over, do you know what that is called?
Healing.
Clotting.
Yeah.
Clotting?
Yes.
It's when you get the scabs on your...
That's scabbing.
Deeper
Like
inside.
like a sword goes into a scabbard. It scabs over.
Not if it's on your inside.
Oh.
And when it's on your inside, it can be very detrimental, very dangerous. Because if that scab tissue inside of you goes somewhere else, you could die.
Well, shit. With magic, too?
I mean, magic lesser so, but it's still possible.
Right, okay.
Now-
I think analogies were... I'm getting it, I think.
What they did was that they clotted this ley line.
Ah. So but you can reopen a wound, right?
It's much, much more difficult closing it. If you keep reopening and reclosing.
Look, I had a scar in the back of my leg for like 2 months because I kept reopening it when I was doing squats.
That sounds terrible. Why would you
I
do
mean-
that?
Because you got it. You can't skip leg day, bro. You can't skip leg day.
But if you're exercising to the point of your own detriment, what the fuck's the point? Anyway, we're going off track.
We need to get our friend back.
Yeah, what other ways into the Feywild, man?
If
People
you,
end up there all the time in the stories. Closets and stuff.
if you find a way in, let me know. We would be more akin to exploring this wood, possibly figuring it out, but hasn't exactly been easy, as you've all seen.
Right. What's your sword about?
His sword? He motions to the one on his back.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite weapon. I've had it since I was but a noble knight.
Is it like special?
To me,
Did it like help you open the thing?
it's my focus.
Your
Oh.
focus?
Yes.
So when certain spellcasters use magic abilities, they can do it in a various amount of ways. Some are material components, and some use focuses. My shield is sort of
Whenever I light my weapon, that's my focus for spellcasting.
Oh, yep. Nope. I met a lady like that once. It was her arm. It was
Quite
fake.
impressive.
Mm.
Yes.
She was old.
I use this sword as my focus. Also, when you are dealing with portals, you need something that is attuned to one side of the other portal. Otherwise, you have no way of getting in.
Is there a way of just bringing like one person back?
Someone would have to send them back.
Oh. So hey, maybe Cori might go to her parents' house and they might send her back. Is that plausible? Does that sound
Wait.
How important is your friend?
like to us or in general?
Like in general.
Pretty important in general.
I mean, she's the lower Caelum.
I think
Still
she's
not a
a
real
Caelum
job
now.
position.
What the hell does
Caelum,
that
are you
mean?
having a problem?
Means that
So
there
when
is
he's-
no lower Caelum.
Right, she's just a Caelum.
Yes.
Yeah, so like when the tribe leader's killed, the under people just go up.
I have a point. And fuck. When Damien and the Judges 3 flooded the Waystone with all of the different energies, what's to say that it didn't change the location of where it sent Cori?
What do you mean?
Well,
Oh,
yeah. That the Waystone is anchored to one spot, but they flooded it with a lot of energy from different planes. What if
what if she's back on the moon? Hey, did you know that this Earth is round?
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Do they not know?
No.
My boy. Soon they will.
It's been a rough couple of months.
It still stands. We need to get into the Feywild. You're the most knowledgeable person on how to do that.
I found my way. I found it the first time. Given enough time, I should find it again. If we did go with your small companion's plan of tearing open this same issue, we could risk astronomical consequence. Because if the portal stays permanent, then Winter has an entirely new, completely unprepared plane to make its home base. And as much as I'm sure your friend is important, I cannot sacrifice the lives of my people, and I cannot sacrifice the lives of those that I don't know here.
you're a good leader, dude.
I tell myself that, in the hopes that one day it is true.
All right, we'll figure something out. We always do. And, if she is on the moon, she can just come back.
I have faith in your friend's ingenuity.
Plus, she's got like 2 gods on her side now, right? Gods go across planes, right?
It depends. Do you believe they do?
Gwen kind of looks at the ground. I don't know.
A god's strength is only as powerful as the ones that believe in it.
Oh, shit.
No one believes in a god. What's the point of them being around?
I guess that's true. Who do you believe in?
I believe in the Archfey.
Are they gods or are they like people?
Yes.
Solid.
Is there anything that I can help elucidate for all of you?
What the hell do you mean that the lower Caelum isn't an actual position?
It's not a job title.
What is it?
It's bullshit. It's middle management, presented by the Judges 3 to make people feel better about their disposition.
Okay, but if the Caelum is out of commission, would that make Cori the next Caelum?
It would indeed.
Okay, so
She would
she's
just
the only
need to admit that to herself.
Okay, and whenever she does, she's the only person who can back your claim to this land in front of the judges 3. That's why you need her back.
If I knew where to go and get her, I would. But seeing as how I am still in this forest, you are all still in this forest, I have no means of doing so.
All right, dude. I appreciate your hustle.
Most I can do is find a hag willing to go between point A and point B for me.
Which hag?
I would have to find one.
I know where one is.
Are they
She's
green?
a bitch. What?
Are they green?
She's a sea hag?
She's a sea hag.
Not the same. Still Fae. Very different ties.
Being from this area, having a lot to do with Fae, have I heard any stories about a green hag?
Make a history check with advantage.
17.
Okay. So you would have heard of a fae that is about 7 days travel away from here. About a week's travel. They are past Crystal Shore, but you do know the location of said fae. You know that her name, at least that she is called, is Granny Knuckle Knees. And
So you're looking for Granny Knuckle Knees.
and he just
Ready.
looks at you.
Is that she green?
I think so.
I don't like dealing with hags. But I will if it means that we can figure something out. What would you all have to offer? Hags don't do
My-
anything for free.
Oh, we could threaten her and tell her we're gonna kill her.
That solves no one's issue.
Yeah, then there'll be one less hag in the world. And she like points at Arsha.
And he's just like giving a contemplative smile.
I
I don't know. I have a ritual dagger. Fuck! No, I don't. God damn it! No.
We'll figure
have
something out.
Why
a
do you
spell
do
book
this?
from a hag that I picked up a while back.
Oh, hey! You're Faye, right? Can you fix this shit? She motions to her deformity.
And he looks you up and down.
And what would you give me if I did?
Ever had sex with a mortal?
Back when I was mortal, yes.
Oh. Halfling?
Not interested.
Oh, okay. Well, she starts going through her bag, her backpack. I have. Oh no, you can't have that. I have Kenku feathers.
No.
I have.
Are you quick
influence
wanting
of-
to be with child, madam?
The what?
Are
You
you
want to
quick?
get me pregnant? I don't think you can get me. Can he get
Do
me pregnant?
you-
I pull
wish.
Arjan aside.
Do I what?
What do you want? What is it that you want?
To the missus. Do you seek to be with child? Quickly.
No, I'm not ready for children yet.
If you went through the process yourself, but you didn't have to keep the child. Hags often are looking for individuals willing to sponsor the creation of a coven. If you offered yourself to
You
this
want
hag.
Gwen to be a surrogate mother for a hag?
I asked what you could give, and her immediate reaction was this.
Oh no, I meant like sex with you.
Oh, no, it would not be with me. It would be someone within their cadre, I'm sure.
You know, I'm good.
I
I'm
turn
not.
to Arjan and I pull the cat skeleton out of my bag.
All right, how about this? Am I giving you something and you'll help me?
That was for the curing of whatever it is that ails you, yes?
Yeah. All right. I have a tribe of Goliaths that I can speak with that travel close to these lands. They can open up trading with you if you need things. I have pull.
This does not help me now.
Well, that's what the sex is for, but
Again, if you're looking to cure whatever ails you, as well as find your way into the Feywild,
Your people are being possessed by something.
yes,
Do you want to stop to it?
I would appreciate it most heartedly, yes. That would
Cure
solve
her.
my issue, not hers.
Cure her, we'll get on it.
And he says, speak your name.
No.
How else are we supposed to seal the deal?
guys, cover your ears. Guinevere.
Talon Seneric.
And with that, you watch as, Gwen, you say your name, and a little mote of yellowish energy kind of flashes out between you and Talon. And from the neck wound that Talon has, a mote of kind of darker blue energy comes out. And the two motes come near each other. And it looks like a quick scribbling on either side, which you actually recognize to be your own handwriting, but very quick, very flourished. And after the two names are spelt, there is a sound of bells chiming, and then the writing disappears. He says,
Mazel tov. Sorry.
and he says, my end of the bargain.
and he pulls his sword from behind his back, and he faces it so the flat of the blade is in front of his face. And he actually, at this point, takes his head and sets it back up onto his neck. And as it does, you watch as his eyes light up with that same vibrant blue-greenish flame, and you hear him begin to chant. Just muttering these arcane words under his breath. And as he does, you see that runes on his sword and on his armor begin to glow. And he switches the blade so that way it is blade facing between the two of you. And he brings it up and swings down with the sword. And you actually feel the air in front of you cut. But Caelum and Arjan, what you see is that as this sword comes down, you watch as it's almost like a leftover carapace from a cicada or some other kind of tree creature, where this form just splits open around Gwen and just sort of shoots off and falls back onto the ground, being this kind of leftover husk from the more messed up Gwen that you had seen before. And Gwen, you are completely fine standing in front of your friends.
Fuck yeah. Thanks. You can uncover your ears now.
I hope she knows that we know how to read.
There.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you are doing.
5 miles north, correct?
He motions off, and it is to the northeast.
And I'll point him in the direction of Randy Knee Knuckles.
Okay. Knuckle knee.
Close enough.
And he will tell you thank you, and that he is going to send some more of the less imposing fey creatures to seek her out. And so, yeah, he ends up bidding you farewell. But before he does, he again says to you, Gwen,
If you change your mind about carrying,
Oh, yeah?
I can arrange this, and we can send you to the Feywild. But it will be at the hag's cost.
I will keep it in mind.
he just nods towards you, and then begins making his way off, leaving the three of you and Cybra all sitting around or standing around with Gwen's weird husk behind you. And as you look at it, you watch as it just sort of withers to dust and blows away.
I could carry a baby. I have to keep it, right?
Considering our lifestyle, I don't think that's safe for the baby.
Gwen,
What?
do not bring another hag into this world or any world.
Would it be a hag or would it just be my offspring?
He would eventually turn into a hag, so it would be a hag.
If it's for a hag, it's a hag.
All right, I'm just saying it's an option. I'm willing to do this for the group.
Gwen charging off into battle with...
Waddling off into battle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get stuff.
So where are we going now?
Northeast.
To the crystals.
Okay. So as you guys are marching off to the northeast, making your way towards the crystals, Caelum, I would like for you to make another d20 roll.
So as we walk closer to the source of this corruption, I would very much like to use one of my warlock spell slots to cast Protection from Good and Evil.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Sorry, Cleric. No, I want to use a warlock pack slot. To give me protection from apparitions.
Okay. Sounds good. Caelum, you got a 7. Sounds good. So as you guys are making your way off towards the woods, Gwen, you are kind of following behind Arjan and Caelum as they were, as you're thinking, I could carry a baby. That doesn't seem so hard. My arms are like wicked strong. You are looking down, kind of pouting, and you see that there are very tiny magenta crystalline shards that seem to be following Caelum. And as you kind of look, as he steps, you actually see that he is leaving them in his footprints. They seem to actually kind of be shaking out of the back of his boot.
Hey, Caelum, hold up. She'll, like, jog to catch up with him. And then she'll, like, lift up his leg by the knee and, like, take off his boot.
Okay.
And look in his boot.
So as you take off his boot, the three of you see that Caelum's entire right leg up to about his thigh is just this deep red crystal.
Caelum faints.
Oh,
I
Gwen catches him.
All right.
Ah.
And that is where we will go into our first break for the evening. Our only break. It's been so long since I said first break. Our only break. So, I would like to say...
What the fuck?
Yes! I didn't say it, but I like hearing people say it. That's why I run this game. So, I would like to say thank you to all of you players for coming by. Thank you to all of you fans for stopping by every week. It really does mean a lot. But we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to bit.ly/adventure merch. Pick yourself up something nice, whether it's this poster, Cyber's poster, either of those posters, this sweet t-shirt, the Gwen stuff, the regular stuff. We got so many things that you can find there. And if there is a product there that you want to see but isn't there, let us know. But with that, we're going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! It happened right as the song changed.
Steven!
Oh, what the fuck?
I wish to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
How do geologists like to relax?
How?
In rocking chairs.
Get the fuck out of here. God damn it. That was a good one. I liked it.
You should have seen me. I was with my knife, just like cutting away the bottom half.
Nope. So yeah, you guys are walking off the 5 miles to the danger crystals. And Gwen, you saw that Caelum was leaving himself little breadcrumbs of deep magenta crystal coming out of his boot, where you unsurreptitiously pulled his boot off and found out that his entire leggy was actually this deep crystal when Caelum decided to pass out because of it.
His entire leg?
Up to about his thigh.
Gwen's gonna check to see how far up it goes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it stops about halfway up his thigh. And as you like start checking around him, you realize that his back is actually entirely covered with this.
Caelum! Smack.
Duh!
The fuck did you touch?
I don't know. What? Oh.
Is this crystal herpes?
No? Arjan, you're not helping.
I'm not trying to. This is exactly what we're trying to deal with.
How do we fix this? Is this a like kill it at the source and everyone will be fine thing? Or are you slowly turning into a crystal? Are you gonna be a crystal? Do you have any evil thoughts? Tell me. Do you want to hit me right now?
No? Maybe? I don't know. I've been under a lot of pressure lately, so that would explain the crystallization. Coal, when it put a lot of pressure on it, it turns into diamonds.
That's
DM,
how diamonds are made.
would possibly destroying the crystal at its source seem like a good idea, given Caelum's current situation?
You have no idea.
I mean,
I have no idea, but I certainly hope so.
I can move. He like takes a dagger out and like pricks his leg. Does he feel anything?
It feels like you're being cut by a dagger.
I can feel pain.
And looking at the gem itself, as again your leg is kind of faceted out, you can still see your bones in there. You can still see nerves kind of running through it. But it looks like your muscles and skin have just kind of been replaced, but everything else is still anatomically in there.
Okay, that's getting gross to look at. So that's new.
We've got to hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need a ride? Do you want to ride on Obes?
I can walk. It's functional.
Alright, cool. This is fine. We quicken our pace.
We're going.
Okay.
Lowers his shirt. Oh, you guys get to see my back. Oh no.
And not just your back. They could see into your back. Wasn't pretty.
Caelum has a wonderful heart.
Right where it's supposed to be.
I don't like the way you said that.
Look, I'm just saying, apparently you saw into my heart. And apparently it's got, like, devils and shit in it.
Get those out of there. Caelum starts jogging.
I've actually been talking to him.
Yeah. So you guys continue making your way into the woods. Nobody brings up that Arshan's been talking to his heart demons or devils, but that's fine. And as you guys continue to walk, you follow along a stream. And as you do, looking down, you can see that there are those same deep magenta crystals, just very tiny, that seem to actually be just kind of tumbling through the stream. It doesn't look like they are necessarily growing on anything in particular, but they do seem to be coming from somewhere upstream. And you even see that some of the fish that are currently swimming in this stream also just have these small crystals kind of jutting out of them, just in various shapes and forms and in different states of composition.
Are they fey fish?
Fey fish or natural fish?
Looking at it, they look like natural fish.
Oh.
Quicken our pace.
Okay.
So careful what you guys touch.
We're still going.
Okay.
We're still going, yeah.
Sounds good. And Gwen, just so I am aware, are you recalling Sunforger?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Cool.
I thought it came back after 24 hours.
No, after 24 hours, you lose the attunement and it stays where it last blasted.
Oh, no, JK, no, I'm bringing it back.
Okay,
I thought,
cool.
I didn't have to do it, so
No,
it would just come back.
yeah.
No, I brought it back. First thing in the morning.
Okay, sounds good. Just wanted to make sure. So yeah, as you guys are quickening your pace into the woods, once you're about 3 miles out of town, you start seeing the overall foliage begin to change. It starts at the ground floor, where as you're running, you start hearing the familiar crunch on and pats on dirt, but then it starts sounding almost like you are stepping on glass shards. And looking down, you can see that you are just running over these crystals that are trying to grow out of the ground, but are actually being pushed back in. And continuing onward, you see that, again, more of this landscape as you go. These ferns that were pretty lush that you guys had passed by earlier. As you get closer, they are now just these very thin sheets of crystal that are hanging on, and you can kind of see more of that fibrous membrane inside. You don't see any animals. You don't see any wildlife after a certain point, and you no longer are hearing the sounds of any kind of bird or insect. It seems silent in the woods, except for the crunch of your feet on crystal. And even looking over towards where the stream was, it's actually very difficult to see it now, as everything has kind of taken on this deeper crimson shade. And you find yourself just surrounded by this color. It doesn't actually seem like you have diverted from where you needed to go at all. And Arjan, you know that you have been following a straight path pretty much this entire time, but there just seems to be something hard to suss out about this place. It almost reminds you of being in the Meanlock's lair, but where you knew that where you were going was the right direction, but it seems like the land itself has different plans for you.
Everybody, make sure to stay very close together.
Caelum takes out a rope, ties it around his waist, throws it over to Arjan.
Yep. Dying. Passing.
Okay.
Yeah, tie it. Hold it.
Pass it.
Yeah.
Tie Cybra now.
Yeah,
Cybra is at this point, like, you guys had thrown the rope expecting Cori to grab it the last time, but Cybra, being the good girl that she was, actually just had the rope in her mouth, just kind of like, I did a good, tail wagging, really excited, not really understanding the severity of the situation here. But yeah, you guys managed to tie yourselves off and make a survival check as you guys are kind of trying to make your way through this area.
19.
8.
Natural 20.
Nice. So, Gwen, from where your standpoint is, and from kind of your general look, as you are able to kind of get down much lower than your friends, and Arjan, you having been an expert traveler up until joining the Four Keeps, had had paid attention to where the river was, and you realize that the two of you realize that you have gotten turned around, where even though you can no longer hear this river, you can still see where it was, and it looks like it is just this thick sheet of crystal. It is not actually liquid anymore at this point.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we gotta correct course. Go that way, right?
Yeah.
It's Faye. None of this is gonna make sense. But yeah, let's go in a direction.
Okay.
Okay. So you continue deeper on, and at this point, looking around, it seems like the canopy cover over you that had gotten denser and denser as you guys made your way into the heart of this woods actually seemed to have converged and turned into one solid sheet. And before you really know it, you are in what almost feels like a cave. As you can see clearly behind you, there is some form of natural light that even in its magenta hue is still coming through, whereas looking down this corridor that you seem to have kind of found yourself in, it almost gets darker. And Caelum, you make a perception check as you guys have been wandering around the woods.
Dirty 20.
Okay. As you find yourself in this longer cave, you hear that same kind of hissing laughter that you had heard in your dream last night. And you hear, "You're getting closer. Soon we can play."
He turns to both Gwen and Arjan. Did you guys hear that?
They did not.
I don't hear anything.
What was it?
So, remember when I had that nightmare last night?
Yes.
No.
Tell them.
What?
And you hear, "Yes, tell them," coming through.
So, I don't know what to do in this train. Last night, I woke up screaming, and you were like, "The next time someone wakes me up, I'm going to punch them," or something to that effect.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. Well, I had a nightmare about this giant serpent who took the library hostage, and now I hear its voice.
Oh.
And
Like in your head.
Yeah, I believe Damien was able to identify who it was.
It was.
Have you guys ever heard of Dendar?
And as you say that, Caelum, you hear in the back of your
Nope.
head, "It sounds so nice when you say it."
I don't like that at all.
So Gwen, you can make a religion check. Arjan, you can make a religion check if you would like. Gwen knows not.
Oh,
Wait. 3.
Okay. It's worse than what you rolled. Yeah, you have no idea what this is, but with a 12, Arjan, you're not really certain who it is. That name sounds kind of familiar, but you can't put a portfolio to this deity.
it's not a human deity, so I
No.
wouldn't know it.
Mm-mm.
All right, so like all right. Is it like a spirit thing?
Honestly, I don't know, but it terrifies me just a little bit.
Hey yo, Grayskull.
Yo, what's up, short round?
Okay, don't call me round for one, but two, can you like do a spiritual sweep and see if there's any like lingering spirits here?
I could try.
I believe in you, Dieter.
Okay. Scanning. Turn to your right. Okay, now turn to your left. Now put your left foot in.
I can't do that. It's Twitch.
Yeah, she's right. We can't do that. But as far as lingering spirits, not really. I don't really feel much in terms of lingering. Some angry ones.
Oh, right here?
Right here. Pretty much like this whole time. Like ever since we left that town.
Yeah, I bet.
He's not happy.
Wait, like one lingering angry spirit or like lots?
It's like a lot.
Hmm.
Not
All right,
screaming.
cool.
It's not exactly best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, keep an eye out. Let me know if you see anything.
Alright. I
right.
will be sure to do so.
Thank you for your conviction.
I will stay ever vigilant.
Gwen stops talking out loud and looks at her friends. Yeah, he doesn't see anything spirit-wise around. I mean, he sees a lot of spirits around here. Apparently, they're pissed.
Magic.
I'm not magical.
Oh no, I'm casting it on the area.
I know. It is probably going to be blinding.
Almost blinding, yes. This entire area just lights up. And as you do your detect magic and you just kind of watch as this area does light up, you see almost like there are shadows within the crystal itself that your friends aren't able to see. And what it looks like is almost like snakes swimming. They just seem to be very large, these wings that are unfolded, and they just seem to be coursing through the gems.
I really don't like it here.
So what, we gotta kill a bitch and then we gotta go home?
Yeah. Simplicity itself.
So, like, should we draw it out?
Try.
You're here
Alright,
to kill
Arjan.
me.
Put me on your shoulders.
I mean,
Put Gwen on my shoulders.
Caelum
And-
kind of turns to like speak behind him. Are you willing to talk? This is sort of new territory for me.
I'm here to play. The others came here to play.
I'm
Now you're here, and you're telling me that you don't like my play space?
scared to even ask what kind of game you want to play.
That game. The game where you get scared and I get to chase you.
You see Caelum's face like just immediately drop.
Are you familiar with Keep Away?
Slightly, yes.
So when I asked you last night if you wanted to play and you said yes, why are you so upset now that I'm keeping your library from you?
Did I say yes?
That's why you had gone outside.
Cool.
What happens if you give up playing? What would happen to the books, Caelum?
Okay. Oh. Caelum cuts the rope between them.
Gwen is yelling. She has commenced. Hey! Bring it on, bitches! Come on, we're here to fight you. Let's go! She has
Is
her
that how
hand
your
over
friends
Arjan's
play?
ears.
And Gwen,
She's a little aggressive.
you hear a
I-
voice
Oh,
in
boy.
your head. So, You want to play?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Are you Grayskull? Is this Grayskull?
I could be.
But you're not?
No.
Oh.
I'm looking to play.
Play? Like cards? I'm really good at cards.
I'm good at cards. I'm good at all sorts of games.
Solid. So, like, game of cards for the forest?
The game I like to play is Keep Away. Or Tag. Do you like Tag?
I didn't, but now I'm kind of fast, so I can play tag.
And Caelum and Arjan, you both hear Gwen nonchalantly say, "Yeah, I could play tag." And you feel the ground start to rumble underneath the three of you. And you hear Gwen in your head. And Caelum, you hear in your head as well. But Caelum, yours is in the much higher register of a younger female. Gwen, you hear yours is a more reassuring male. And it says, "Tag, you're it." And at that, you kind of hear a rattling sound as the cave around you begins to shake. And two large forms are actually going to come up from out of the ground on either side of the two of you, with three smaller crystalline figures riding on top of these things. I would like for everybody to roll initiative.
I like this game.
This will be easy.
19.
Oh, I have an advantage on.
Hey, bros, 19.
Hey.
Do you also get a 19?
No,
Well,
I got an 8. I got 17.
Okay.
Oh, Caelum, did you nat 20?
I nat 20.
Nice.
All right, so Caelum, you got a 19. Arjan got a 19.
You'll go first.
Gwen, you got 17? 18.
Yes.
Okay, 17. And then this guy. You have all spaced yourselves once that dice is gone forever. This is gone. Yeah, so it is actually going to be the three of you going first with Cybra. She's trying to be a helpful pupper, and the DM does not want to forget about her as often. Boop. She gets a 10. So she's going slow. So, as these large creatures end up coming out from the ground, you see that they are entirely crystalline. And one of them, one of these large creatures, looks, you see it's almost imitating the motions for sniffing. And you guys can actually hear that sniffing sound echoing through this chamber of just... as this creature kind of moves its head back, then moves it over, and it sees the three of you, and a lower jaw extends outward with the breaking and clinkering of crystal as this large mouth forms, and you see that it is actually going to leap out towards you, Gwen. And it almost, this creature, as you see it, you have heard stories of sharks in the ocean before. This almost looks like if a shark had legs rather than if it had fins. So
Weird. Is it like a puppy?
No, it is a large-sized creature. Much bigger than a puppy. So you need to make a strength or dexterity save. It is either going to be your choice.
Oh boy, I don't know which one I'd want to choose.
Strength.
18.
Okay, so you are not going to be knocked prone, but you are going to be taking half of this damage as this creature jumps onto you. And that is going to be for 12 points of bludgeoning damage as the weight of this creature slams into you. And then it is going to be for 11 points of piercing damage, as the shards kind of poking out from its sides are actually scraping up against you.
How are you feeling?
Yes. So, first up, or then it's Caelum's turn. Sorry. Caelum and
Wouldn't it be
Arjan.
Arjan's turn?
Caelum or Arjan. Because or I guess it would be Arjan, because he has a much higher dex.
Yeah, Dex also.
That's usually only for figuring out enemies. Like, you guys can choose to go however you want. It just makes it easier.
Cool. How spaced out are these crystalline creatures?
These crystalline creatures, you see that the one that leapt forward to bite out at Gwen actually has what looks to be a tiny little crystalline looking humanoid on its back. And then, or I guess it would be about a medium-sized crystalline creature. I need to stop using size adjectives to describe monsters that are not that size. And then the other one is still maybe about 20 feet back. And it has two of these smaller creatures on its back.
I'm going to light my claws as a bonus action. For my action, I would like to cast Green Flame Blade.
Okay. Make your attack.
$11.
Okay. An 11 does not hit.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Then next up, Caelum.
Caelum's going to tap Gwen on the shoulder and cast. Let's do it. Base level. Cure wounds. On
So
Gwen.
early.
Did you take like a shit ton of damage without your rage on?
I took 23 damage without my rage on.
It wasn't psychic. We're cool.
Are we cool?
No, we're not cool.
That's like a third of your damage.
It is a third.
Exactly.
Actually, it's almost It is exactly a third.
Math. The scariest monster in D&D of all.
Truly.
Gwen heals for 17. And as my bonus action, I'm going to Snakehead? Question mark.
Okay. Sounds good. Gwen.
Gwen would like to rage.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then she is going to grab this thing and say, "What, do you not know how fucking tag works?" And she's gonna hit him with the axe. Well, she's gonna attempt to hit him with the axe recklessly. That's a 22 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit. Roll for damage.
And she's gonna, as she hits him, she's gonna say, "Tag, you're it!" Smash into his head, doing like 16 damage on the first hit.
Ooh, all right.
And then on the second bash, that's a 6. 6 plus 5 is 11.
11 does not hit.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, next up, it is the other set of creatures' turns. So, they are the larger one that has these two humanoid forms on its back is going to then jump out towards it is going to jump out towards you, Arjan, as you had lit your claws on fire. And it is going to try and do a pouncing attack at you. So I need you to make a strength or dexterity save.
Natural 20
Nice.
for a 24.
Okay. So you are going to be taking, and Gwen, you took half the damage, right? Last turn, because you succeeded. Yeah, so you would have only taken half of that overall.
Half of 23 is 11.
Yep.
Yes. All right, so Arjan, you are going to be
I'm at
taking
full.
half of this. So you are going to be taking... Before halved, it is 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
So 10.
Yep. And then 9 points of slashing damage.
Cool.
Reduced to 4.
Wait, reduced it. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so Cybra is then going to try and bite out at this large crystal creature that was biting its dear friend Gwen. Go Cybra. It has pack tactics because wolf, and that still does not hit. So she bites out. It's not very effective. I don't believe that
girl.
wolves have multi-attack, correct?
Ooh, I know this. It's on my sheet in my extras. Pack tactics, Beastmaster bonus. Bonus attack and damage rolls equals to the ranger. Oh no, that's a
All right.
It depends on how you're building out her stat block. I know you're using the
She
Metal
didn't
Eve
have
rules.
the. She was quick. She could move really fast. And after she tries to nip out, she's actually going to whip into the back behind you guys as she's trying to get the fuck out of Dodge if she possibly can. So then next up are the 3 smaller creatures that were on top of the larger crystalline creatures. And they are going to take these crystal spears that they have. And one of them is going to try and stab out at you, Gwen, as it is near you. So that is a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Okay. So you are going to be taking 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay, and then it's going to try and stab you again. And that is going to be a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Okay, and then 5 points of piercing.
Okay.
All right, and then Arjan, you have these 2 smaller ones. One of them is going to try and stab out at you with a 17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And then that is going to be for 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then his second is a 21 to hit for 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
All right. And then the second one.
Wait, was that the one that hit me?
No, that
Or
was.
that I hit?
No.
Okay.
These are the smaller ones. Nobody has hit them yet. You've just been hitting the big guys. And the third smaller figure is actually going to jump off of the back of the larger crystal form and land next to you, Caelum, and is going to try and stab out towards you as well.
Smaller guy? Smaller guy?
Yes. And that is going to be for a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. You take 6 points of piercing damage, and then it makes a second attack against you with a 22 to hit for 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Subtract the first one. I'll do my spirit thing for him. I rolled a 6 on the first.
Okay. So then next up is this big ol' creature that showed up next to you, Gwen, the first time and did a bite. And it is going to keep trying to do its bitiest against you, as that seems to be kind of all it can do. It gets a natural 1 and does not have multi-attack, so that was it for its turn. Then next up is Arjan Caelum.
Okay. Hex on the shark thing that's next to me.
Okay.
The one that I didn't try to hit next turn or last turn. No, I do want to try to go for the one attacking Gwen.
Okay.
And I want to give it disadvantage on strength checks.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, that was a pact slot, not a cleric slot. Green Flame Blade. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does not hit these big guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasted my blood die on that.
Seemed like it just fell short. All right. So then, Caelum.
I'm gonna overcast my Valraven Noct, which is the magic missiles at 5th level. $10 for the D100.
10 for the D100.
I need a bunch of D4s.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You cast Magic Missile as a 5th level spell.
So he cast it twice?
Yes.
Solid.
I don't. Okay, hold on.
Oh boy, you overcast it.
Oh boy, I did. That's 12d4. Should I spread this damage out, or do I just want to kill one thing? How many biggins are there?
There are 2 big ends and 3 smaller ends.
Oh, that's gonna take so much work. I point to one of the biggins, the one that's not damaged. You see a bunch of spears impale it. 46 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. Okay,
Oh,
so
look at that. I've been impaled.
what are you gonna do? Stab me? Says guy who would stab. Yeah. So your first casting of magic missiles comes out and looks like your standard slew of pikes and spears. But the second layer of it that seems to rise up is just these deep magenta colored crystal variants of the spears and spikes that you had previously that seem to follow along. And as the spell fires off, Caelum, you hear, you're real fun to play with. And that is
Was
what
that you?
hear. Gwen, what would you like to do?
So there's 3 big ones, 2 small ones, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. All right, Gwen is going to attack the duder that is on her.
2 big ones, 3 medium-sized ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna recklessly attack the one on her.
Okay.
Ooh, that is a 24
That'll hit.
for 10 damage on that one. And then the second attack is going to be 17.
Okay. 17 just hits. Roll for damage.
Cool. And that is 12 damage on the second hit.
Woo.
Is this thing like, am I laying down?
Are you laying down?
Well, no, I didn't go prone, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
I'm just
got
kind
up
of
to you.
shifting around this boy. If it has, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get right underneath it.
All right, sounds good. So then next up is this large creature that was on you, Arjan. And it sneers and looks over, or it doesn't, because that was the other one. It is going to still stay on you and is going to try and bite out at you.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, that's the wrong dice. Yeah. Okay. I am going to guess that an 11 does not hit you.
It does not.
Okay. So then it is Cyber's turn, and she is going to rush up and try and do a heckin' bite against the one that was attacking her friend Gwen. And that is a 17 to hit, which is good. And then she is going to deal 9 points of piercing damage, and then this guy needs to make a strength check, which it fails because of disadvantage, and Cybra will actually trip this big heckin' crystal creature.
Checks, not saving throws. He wouldn't have disadvantage.
You rolled a 5 on the first dice, so it's still bad. Still more than enough, but thank you for the clarification. So then Cybra, after tripping this creature, is going to run around back. Again, just trying to stay out of the fray on this. The spearman that is on you, Gwen, is going to try and stab out at you and gets a 26 to hit because you have used your reckless, and it will deal 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it is going to try and make a... You see its face actually opens up and creates this almost long crystalline smile, and it is going to try and bite out at you. With a 25 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Just
Why would you ask?
25
Why would you ask?
my brain goes into
14.
auto combat. Okay. 4 points of piercing bludgeoning damage as this thing's jaws clamp down on you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then next up is the one that is on you, Caelum. Is going to try and stab out. It gets a nat 1, so he's going to try and bite you instead.
Shield. I don't know. Go ahead.
And his bite is a 19.
Shield.
Okay, casting the shield spell. Got it. And then the one that is on you, Arjan, is going to try and stab out at you with a 10. Doesn't hit. And then does a 16 hit.
16 just hits.
Okay. You're going to be taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage as it bites onto you. Next up is...
Head up.
Yep. Next up is the large creature that Cybra had tripped, and it is going to right itself and then kind of shake out a little bit. And as it does, you just watch as some of the crystals on its back actually seem to fall off in chunks onto the ground. And it is going to look towards you, Gwen, and it is going to try and bite you. So that is a 17 to hit.
Yes.
Okay.
My AC is 14.
Sounds good.
I am the easiest one of us to hit.
For 31 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And that is all that it can do on its turn. So Arjan and Caelum.
Gwen, how you doing?
I'm fine!
You don't look fine.
I'm at 2/3 my health. I'm fine.
Even Cybra is worried.
She's fine.
Just gonna back up and tap Gwen on the shoulder. With a...
Don't use your spells on me. Kill the fucker, dude!
I would like to bonus action healing word on Gwen.
Okay.
There you go. Cool.
Gwen, make another attack.
22,
That'll hit.
23,
For sure that'll hit.
or 12.
Okay.
You get 3 hit points back.
Sweet.
For my action, I would just like to attack this big boy.
Sounds good.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Shit. Doubled. 5. Ah.
All them dice.
I don't have enough d6s for this.
What a horrible problem to have.
Okay, I did get a 1 on one of these riot flame die, so I'm going to re-roll it. Great. So that's going to total out 2. Alright, pardon me for this first attack. 7 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
7 points of fire damage,
Got it.
and 3 necrotic.
Alrighty. That's pretty good.
For the second attack, modded 20
Okay. Still hits.
for 4 points of piercing, 3 points of fire, 1 point of necrotic.
Okay. It's still looking mightily injured, but like it still has legs to lean on. And the 3 smaller creatures are still just stabbing away at you guys, having been untouched by all of this. Caelum.
Big guy's hurt. Big guy's hurt. Does an 18 hit as I cast Guiding Bolt?
Yes, it does. Roll for damage.
Okay. 17 points of lightning damage to the biggin. Yeah.
On Gwen or on Arjan? They both have a big.
Which one's the one that looks most hurt?
The one that looks most hurt is the one that Arjan just got done making a mockery of.
Other one, the one on Gwen then.
Okay, sounds good.
But that would be the one on me. I was hitting Gwen's.
There were 2 of them.
Right,
One
I was
was
hitting
on
the
you.
one that was on Gwen.
Oh, you were hitting the one that was on Gwen. Okay. I thought that you were attacking a separate one. Okay, so yeah. Was that just your last attack that you did the doubles on Gwen's?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so the one that is on Gwen definitely looks like it is the much more injured one.
Spins, turns to the one I was fighting already.
Okay.
17.
Sounds good. Alrighty, so... Boop. Sorted. Figured it out. Alright, so did you have a bonus action that you would like to do?
There's one duder on me, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll save. Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Mhm.
Okay, so next up is the large creature that I thought that Arjan had been attacking, but he is still going to be trying to attack out against you, Arjan, as you have magical fire hands right in its vicinity. Perfect for giving noms to. So he is going to try and do a bite. That is a 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where is the... That's fine. Oh, there it is. For 32 points of piercing damage.
I'm gonna do my thing. 8.
Okay.
So
32 minus 8,
24.
24. So I would need to make half of that. I rolled a 20, so hex stays.
Yep.
Okay, reaction.
Okay.
Hellish Rebuke. I don't like this.
All right, so it gets a 12.
Need a 13.
Yep.
17 points of fire damage.
Ooh. Yeah, it is not looking good now. At all. So that is going to be it for its turn. Next up is Cybra, who is going to rush up and try and bite out against the one that Caelum had hit with the guiding volt, seeing as it is how the big glowy target. And
Get it, girl. No, not
No,
even with advantage.
She gets a 9 with advantage. It was a nat 1 and a 5 on the dice.
Aww.
That's fine. You tried, girl.
She trying her
Her
heckin'
bark
best.
is so much better than her bite.
Oh, yes. And then she is going to skedaddle back into the back, trying to avoid as best she can any kind of crystal spears or bites. Next up are the three medium-sized form, one on Caelum, one on Gwen, and then one on Arjan. The ones on Gwen, you did a reckless attack last round?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So that's a natural 20 with its spear for a total of 8 points of damage on a crit.
Boy.
And then it's going to try and
Gwen's
bite.
gonna play it up. She sees that he's really trying, so she'll just like, oh gosh, you got me right in the kidney.
All
Hey
right.
now, no need to patronize.
14.
14 hits.
Okay. So then this is going to be for 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And then Caelum, you are going to get one trying to stab you with a 19 to hit.
I can take it, yeah.
Okay. For 2 points of piercing damage. And then he's going to try and bite you. And that's a 14. So I'm also guessing not. And then Arjan, you are going to get a bite and a stab. And the bite got a 8, but the spearing got an 18 to hit.
Which will.
For 4 points of piercing damage. Okay, so then next off is the biggin that is still kicking right next to you, Gwen, and it is going to try and do a heckin' bite. Get that crunch. I am so sorry. That's a natural 20 from this creature. Let's see where this is going to take us. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Fine. It's fine. It's fine.
That's a lot of dice.
Sorry, I got Syra to help me. He's still rolling.
For 51 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Thankfully, you're raging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
25. You still up?
I'm still up. I still have 17.
Great.
That's pretty fucking good.
Great.
So,
Luckily, these little guys are hitting me for like 1, 2.
they're plinking.
And to go on healing duty.
Arjan, it is your turn.
How's the one on Gwen looking?
The one on Gwen is looking mightily fucked up.
Yeah. 7.
Okay, 7 does not hit.
Second attack. 10.
Nope. Both your attacks end up missing.
Bonus attack. Offhand attack.
Okay.
8.
No, also bad. Not the number that you were looking for. Caelum.
Arjan is bleeding very heavily.
Yep.
Caelum.
Caelum will duck next to Arjan, tap him on the back. He heals for... Actually, I'll use that. 16 points of damage healed.
Okay. So that takes me up to 25.
It's good.
I was at 9.
And gonna use my bonus action to use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to slide underneath everyone and get behind the biggins and just like slap one of them on the ass and just go, tag.
Okay. Sounds good. So, then next up is Gwen.
I would like to throw my boy, the Sun Forger. Is there a way I can hit multiple of them with the blast?
If you threw it straight up onto the ceiling of this crystalline cave you have found yourself in, you could probably angle it so both the biggins would end up taking the brunt of it.
Cool, let's do it.
Okay.
Should I make an intelligence check to see if this will bring the whole roof down?
You can make an insight check if you want.
Inside check the ceiling.
It's 11.
It's high.
It seems doable. All things are possible through magic bullshit, so like...
I mean, that makes sense to me. Alright, so they need to make a dex save, please.
Okay.
I should just have all my d6s out.
The one on Arjan got a 15, but the one on you got a 5.
Alright, the 15 saves for half.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Alright, and they take... 26 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so with a ferocious explosion, as Gwen just hurls Sunforger to the sky, you watch as both of these large forms actually just get blown away by the impact of this fireball. It does not seem like they had enough life force left in them to actually make it out past that point. But they are no longer there. However, the three of you...
Question.
Yes.
Did these creatures have blood?
You do not see any blood in them.
Okay. No.
Does
As we know Caelum has blood.
Yes.
Still.
Yes, you do.
also one of these bad boys was hexed, correct?
He was.
Oh no, that's blade lock.
Yep.
When you do
Different than
different than actual hex.
Yes.
What, sorry, which ones are still alive? Which...
It is just the tiny men's. There is one on you, one on Arjan, and then now there is one near Cybra because Caelum separated himself.
Alright. I will do my second attack.
Okay. I was going to say, though, with the force of the Sunforger exploding in the cave section that you guys are currently in, you watch as hairline fractures end up forming around the side walls of this cave, and you begin to hear a breaking, as it seems like this cave is actually closing in on the area where you had thrown the Sunforger, Gwen. So, Caelum, you see a wall of these magenta crystals end up raining down between you and your party members. And as the Sunforger finishes its explosion and you are kind of, you feel this wave of energy pass by you from the force of the explosion, you look back and realize that the area that you had teleported yourself away from was just enough that the cave has now closed off between you and your party.
As a free action, they're probably on his side, silent. You just hear a small thunk as he face palms.
Not again.
All right, so Gwen, there are still these three smaller figures around you, but you know that Caelum is on the other side of this wall.
Is this cave gonna collapse on us, or are we safe?
It looks like it has the possibility of collapsing, especially now that you have caused such damage to the structural integrity of it.
Yeah. Are we gonna, like, just as she's like, are we supposed to go further into the cave or out of the cave? To Arjan.
And at this point, as Arjan's raising his shoulders, doesn't know what to do, Gwen, you hear that same voice in your head that you had earlier say,
Now is the part where you start running.
Alright, first of all, bitch, and she's gonna take her axe and axe one of the guys
Okay.
for her second attack, which is a 12.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so a 12 will totally hit this thing.
For 5 damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
First of all, bitch, you don't even know how to play tag, because this is not how you play tag. Second of all, why don't you bring your fat ass out here and I'll fight you myself?
And as you are crying out in this structurally unsound cave, you feel the ground begin to shake beneath you, and the walls also begin to shake and rumble as well, as it looks like the cave-in that you started with Sunforger is going to be gaining momentum here shortly. So both of those creatures are dead, and it is just the 3 of the smaller boys, who one of them is on you, Gwen, and is going to attempt to stab out with a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. And then it gets a 19 on its bite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and its bite is for 4 damage.
Woo!
All right, and then Arjan, you have one coming at you with that is a 17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And that is 2 points of piercing damage from its spear. And then it's going to try and bite you with a 21 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is for 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And then the one that had previously been on Caelum is going to also stab out at you and give you a bite. So the stab was for 19 points, or 19 to hit, and then 7 points of piercing damage.
No damage.
Okay. And then it is going to try and bite you. And that is a 10 to hit, so I don't think that's not going to be it at all. But yeah, so that is it for those 3 creatures. Gwen and Arjan, as you guys look up, the cave that you are in is actually going to begin crumbling down. What would you like to do? As you see the path in front of you is blocked that would otherwise lead to Caelum.
How blocked is it?
It looks like you would have to clear some of the path aside. It looks like as it had collapsed inward, it actually brought down the sheet like it was almost like it was some sort of easily foldable metal.
Okay, but what if, like, acid breath?
Okay. Your acid breath would be able to make a hole, which would be good because it's not a cone breath.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Ideally, also getting the critter in front of me.
Yeah. Sure.
So I need it and the wall of crystal to make a dex save.
Wall fails. I'm just gonna say it. It's a wall. And the creature also fails.
Cool.
The wall hits a nat 20.
I am immortal. I am timeless. I am walls.
The wall. The wall.
8 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Wait. I think it's 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8. It's 8.
Okay.
Gwen's gonna follow up with a axe to it to try and
Sorry. Bonus action to move my hex to the critter in front of me.
Okay.
Could I have done that before?
Yes.
Okay. He takes 5 necrotic.
Okay, that is enough to wipe this little bastard out. So yeah,
Great.
as your acid breath washes over him, and sinks up against this again kind of crystal field that you guys have had collapse on the inside of this cave, you hear the sizzling of the gems melting from your acid breath, but it doesn't look like there is a pathway large enough that you and Gwen would be able, or that you anyways, would be able to properly climb through. Gwen might be able to fit through this because of how small she is. Most of her body volume is hair, so you're pretty sure it's like a cat's whiskers.
Like a fucking rat.
Yeah. Yeah. Gwen, you feel like you could slip through the hole that Arjan has acid breathed.
And if not, he is readying some Eldritch Blast to blast the hole a little bit bigger.
Yeah, Gwen's gonna take an axe to it as she's gonna try and like slide through it.
Okay, I need you both to make dexterity saves, though, as parts of the ceiling around you guys is falling down onto you.
10.
8.
Okay. So you
Danger sense?
are...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
9.
Okay. You are both going to be taking 8 points of bludgeoning damage as the ceiling continues to fall down on you guys. Caelum.
How's bad is Blake looking?
13 out of 76.
Solid.
Caelum, what are you up to? As you also feel the cave beginning to shake and pieces of the ceiling begin to crumble in, seeming to have not withstood the blast of Gwen's Sunforger. But you see a line of acid just shoot through the debris, and then you can hear them starting to get to work on the other side.
He's gonna yell for them to stand back.
I will stand back.
Okay.
He's gonna target that spot in the wall where the acid breath had just hit, and he's casting guiding bolts right into it.
Okay.
Battery acid?
It's battery acid, you slime! It roll for attack, just in case you miss. Dirty 20.
Yeah. That'll hit.
Oh, here goes. 28 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
To that.
So, Gwen, as you are getting ready to slide through this hole that Arjan had made with his acid breath, you hear Caelum yell out in his Shadarkai Batman form, "Hold on, stand back," as a blast of electrical energy hits against that hole and actually creates a wide enough opening that Arjan, you feel like you would be able to kind of dive under, if anything. Gwen, you could rush through easily, and Cybra would also be able to make a quick run through there if you guys are not held up by anything. So, Gwen, what would you like to do, as we are still in initiative order?
I would like to run through and prep myself to pull Arjan through.
Okay, sounds good. Next up are the two creatures, these two crystalline forms that are still, or one of them is going to get bit on by Cybra. Does not hit because she's such a good girl, and then she's going to run through the hole that was made as well. But these two figures, Arjan, are going to come over to you and try and stab and bite against you if they possibly can.
Okay.
So the first one gets a 18.
Yep.
Okay, so that is for 4 points from a bite.
Okay.
And then it is going to try and stab you. But it gets a 6 on that, so that's not going to happen.
Right.
And then the second one is also going to try and bite you for a 16.
That just hits.
For 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
All right, and then it is going to make its final spear attack against you with a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right. So the two of them go to try and stab against you, but they are
We are very stressed right now.
unsuccessful in doing so. So then next up, Arjan, it is your turn.
Oh, you're gonna provoke attacks of opportunity! Fuck! Fine. Things are fine.
Good thing he has 2 feathers.
Oh, God.
That only works with fiends.
Oh, gods!
Green Flame Blade. Bonus action, Hex.
Okay.
Shit. Okay, none of those did higher than an 11. So Hex is still up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a 16 hit.
16 definitely hits.
Okay. Okay.
I know what you're banking on. I hope it works.
You son of a bitch. Okay. So I did reroll one of those. That was
Okay.
my flame die. I'm gonna be doing 2 points of piercing damage, 6 points of fire damage, and 6 points of necrotic damage.
Woo! That drops that one. For sure.
Tarlayan will hit the other one.
Okay.
5 points of fire damage.
Okay. This one last one is still barely hanging on looking at you.
Cyber.
I'm getting the fuck out.
Okay.
I'm going.
He's going to try and stab you as you run. 17 to hit
It's a hit.
for 6 points of piercing damage.
I have 1 hit point.
Okay. Okay. Because the ceiling is still collapsing, so I'm going to need everybody to make dexterity saves.
Fuck. $16.
18.
Okay.
14.
All right. So, 16, 18, 14. So you are all going to be taking half of 13 points.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Arjan is going to. I can't save you, but Arjan takes 8 less than that. Not that it matters. No, Caelum takes 8 less than that.
Okay.
I'm down.
Sorry, how many? How much damage was it?
13 divided by 2.
Yes.
So I'm so good. Can we see him in the hole?
Yeah.
He's not in the hole, right?
He made it out onto your guys' side, and then debris from the roof fell down.
Oh, good. I'm putting my hands on him.
Okay.
Sure. I just need him up. I don't care right now. I just need him up. Plus 3. 10 points of healing, and we'll drag you to your feet.
Okay. This cave is still collapsing on you guys.
Yeah, and we're bailing,
Yep.
Okay.
going deeper into the
Well,
cave.
we're going further in, yeah.
Yeah.
So, shit, my claws are. Fuck.
Okay. So you guys make your way deeper into the cave. Arjan, you felt yourself black out for a hot minute, but when you woke up this time, all your clothes are still on you, and there's still 2 angel feathers on your necklace, which, solid.
Whenever I went unconscious, my claws delit, right?
Yes.
So I don't have a right focus.
Nope. But yeah, you guys then rush down this cave, and Caelum, both you and Gwen still hear in your heads. See? I told you it was fun.
Your definition of fun and ours is totally different.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know, some duder.
Oh, it's a girl for me.
Oh. Do you even know what tag is? Because that wasn't tag. You don't say you're it and then you go towards the person. You're supposed to run away from the person. I'm really hurt. I'm sorry, and I'm exhausted.
And yeah, as you guys have kind of run down this cave, you see it actually opens up towards the end. It seems like there was almost like this wasn't necessarily a cave, but more of a tunnel. And as you reach the end, as it opens up again, you could hear, before you actually see it, the sound of what you would guess to be running water. But as you get to the other side of this tunnel, looking out, you can see that the river that was flowing, that you had followed before, is still flowing, but all of the water has been replaced with this flowing crystal. You can hear birds chirping again, but the bird song doesn't sound like regular noises. It sounds almost like gems and glass being constrained and constricted into a mockery of this bird song. You feel yourself being in the same forest that you were in previously, but everything is visibly different. And as you kind of look around, you're actually having a hard time focusing on any one particular thing as the light comes in and causes a... If it weren't such a dangerous situation, it would cause a beautiful refraction of light as it kind of spreads throughout this general area. And Gwen, you and Caelum can both hear, "Take a rest if you want, then."
Cool.
Feel free to sit, stay as you like.
Going on.
It wants us to rest, or it says we can rest. Are you a dude or a chick? I don't want to misgender you.
I am greatness.
We're gonna say they.
Gonna set Arjan down.
Gwen like kneels and then just face plants.
And Caelum and Arjan, as Gwen face plants down onto the ground, you can see that the tattoo that she has on her back seems to glisten in the light that is actually entering in through the field. And looking at it, you actually see that that very tribal tattoo of hers is no longer outlined with the dark black inks that you've seen the Goliaths use, but it is instead interwoven with this crystal.
Oh, fuck.
What? I mean, what?
Tattoos are turning magenta.
Fucking perfect.
I'm gonna look over Arjan with his permission.
Yeah, he'll take his shirt off.
It doesn't look like this has affected Arjan at all.
Well, good news is you're fine.
Do you have any sense of direction?
None that I can say. I know we headed northeast at some point, out in the forest.
To this thing.
Oh, to this thing?
Yeah.
I know a direct way to it. I don't like it.
What do you mean?
They are also responsible for what's happening with my library right now. If I were to trance, I think it would be a direct route.
You'd be going alone.
I mean,
Cori can go with you. Can I go with you?
that's not how it works. At least I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, you brought Oliviette too, right?
It's sort of like an elf thing.
I can go to the spirit world.
It's...
We can get into Arjan's heart, like...
That was like a fluke because Makoth was also trying to get in at the same time.
I think it was just a way for the DM to get involved. I'm just saying.
Oh, your nose is bleeding, Arjan.
Everything's bleeding. It's fine.
Well,
I mean, I could be like sleeping too, so it's like it's not like a detriment.
Trancing isn't sleeping.
No, but yeah, it is for you.
No, sleeping is sleeping for me.
Caelum, do you know what kind of creature this is?
It's a big old snake, right?
It's a serpent.
But like aberration, celestial.
Say it.
And then,
Yeah,
Gwen, you hear it in your head as well.
Say what I really am, Caelum.
Now, deity, correct?
Yes.
Yes. It's a deity.
Very good.
Oh fuck.
I've been tired for so long.
Who believes in you?
You all will. Soon enough.
Yeah, but who believes in you? Gods get their power from people who believe in them, right? I don't know who you are.
And the voice is quiet for a while, several minutes it feels like, and these minutes just seem to almost draw on for hours in this strange silence that you have found yourself in. And the three of you then hear it's almost like a hum to the natural surroundings of the world around you, where the river itself seems to grow in its audio penetration. You hear that the wind kind of picks up. That is, it blows through these crystalline trees and shakes these leaves, that it almost seems to play into a tune. And you hear a hollow voice, almost metallic in nature. And it says, "Sleep. I dream of sleep, awakened for the coming storm." And you hear a pause, and then it picks up again. This time with the voice of the young girl that Caelum always hears, this time with the echoes of the elder voice that Gwen hears. It says, "Sleep. I dream of sleep. The coil far from mortal, the whispers in the night, to find yourself within its jaws, so far from the light." And then a pause again. And this time you hear a cacophony of voices that seem to fill the entire forest, almost shouting. And it says, "Sleep. I dream of sleep. Once you hear the voices, you know you're almost through. As crystals spread across your mantle, it surely spells your doom." And then a pause.
I would like to light my claws
Okay.
and cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Aiming at this creature.
Is it
But-
there?
You see no creature in front of you. This is just an audio.
Okay, then aiming at just random points in the crystal structure.
Okay. And as your blasts fire off, the chanting does not stop. And if anything, you hear that little girl's voice giggling as the eldritch blasts sink into the trees. And after its final refrain, you hear that same metallic voice. "Sleep. I dream of sleep." And then the forest goes quiet again. And as you are all standing around wondering what that was, you hear a flutter. And when you look around, you can't really see anything, but then you hear it again. And looking up into the trees, you see for the first time, something not crystalline. You see a raven, and then you see another, and then you see another, and then you see another, and before you know it, the entire canopy around you is filled with these large black ravens, all looking down directly at the three of you. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session.
Endor, what the fuck?
I had time this week. It's been a while. Good. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and watch this wonderful show. I greatly enjoy what we do here. RJ, why don't you lead us to some sign-offs? Where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And you could also catch me here on Tuesdays, tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but usually on Tuesdays on Curse of Strahd, run by the lovely Danae Keener as Bartholomew the Human Ranger. You can also catch me on Sundays as G3, the Robo Barista fugitive who's probably going to get supercharged at some point to try and outspeed a exploding bomb on Pro Restarter's channel at 8 p.m. EST. We'll play Phase. I play with LB. We'll be there. You could also catch me as I probably face plant into my bed later. Come join me, baby.
Boys, come on.
LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me being tortured on Mondays here. Tuesdays, you can find me here. Tomorrow, we're playing an evil campaign. Wednesdays, you can find me on at Dammit Berry's channel doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I play a character named Oyantu. We played a level 15 one-shot last week, which is beautiful. I got to cast like a fireball at level 8, I think. It was like I got to roll 13d6. It was like, whoo. And then Sundays you can find me on Encounter Roleplay's channel doing the Apocalypse system, where the timeline was just explained to us. So like, it's a lot to take in. And then at 8 p.m. I'm with the lovely RJ doing Pro Restarter's Cypher system game as Ophi, the mad adept, which I love playing. She's fucking crazy, and I've actually created a string board because there's so many interweaving shit, so I might post that at some point.
Please.
That's me.
Alrighty. Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Cyber. You can find me at CyberWolf701 on Twitter. I twitch sheet posts. And sometimes I even tweet shit posts. I also tweet about whenever I go live on twitch.tv/CyberWolf1201, where right now we're playing through Watch_Dogs. And oh boy, have I murdered so many people because driving in that game is horrible. But we have a lot of fun, and eventually we're going to talk about the lore of that game. I hope there's lore. Archives for that go to a YouTube with a horrible URL, so consider finding that YouTube on my Twitch channel and subscribing, because you'll also see a podcast that Kyle with an N I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about the RPG stuff we did. We just recorded another episode. I gotta edit it, but it'll be coming soon at some point. Yeah. For role-playing stuff, you can find me here on Mondays. Hey, you found it. Cool. Good job. You can also find me here on Thursdays playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, our Salt Bay Acquisitions Incorporated wonderful little mishmash campaign. I play Albus, the Kalashtar Bard Sorcerer Aboleth. It's great.
It's a good game.
And if you have made it here, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey buddy, it's me, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then again on our community days at 11 a.m. On Saturdays. So if you are interested in possibly joining us for a one-shot or having some enjoyable times with these fine folks, consider checking us out there and possibly joining our Discord, which is super fun and cool. Other super fun, cool things that we do are... we have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard on our Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, I was going to say /Nights in the Courtyard, but that's not true. So if you go, that won't take you anywhere. At least that I know of. It might be porn. Who knows? But if you go to Twitch...
Oh, it's porn.
Fuck. If you go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, that is where you will find our after show where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So if you have any questions to ask our players or ask myself about this session or any of our other sessions, feel free to drop us a line and we will answer them as best we can. But with that, I think that is our show for the evening. So I would like to say thank you once again to all you wonderful players. And thank you to all of you wonderful people stopping by and chat, making this a fun time for everybody. Because I know I always have a great time on Mondays. But we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.